And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Watch Talk with the Punters. My name's Blue Shirt. Along with me today is my co-host Thomas Burnett.
Hello, everyone.
And we welcome back NS Something to the show.
Welcome back, NS. Good to see you.
Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Glad to be back.
Yeah, you were sorely missed. And our special guest today is Tennessee Mike. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, guys. A lot of fun. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you, Mike.
So, I just wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. Abdul is there. He put out a video today. Everybody should check it out. Jacinta Arthur and James Arthur is in there. I'll post the invite in the chat. And we will start off with the news. So, NS, take it away.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. There's actually quite a bit of news this week. So it's interesting. The first bit of news that I thought was interesting is Doxa is returning to the retail space in North America.
Right.
So they're going to have a retail presence, and they're bringing out a non-limited edition carbon case.
I love it already. I'm loving it already. Yeah.
So this is kind of like they had, if I remember correctly, it was kind of yellow and gray. They had that limited carbon edition last year. Right. But now it's basically that same case, but in their standard multicolor line, if you want to call it that way. So really cool. It's the sub 300 basically with a carbon case. Comes in all the colors. It's COSC, so that's fun. And it's not too bad, right? For a carbon case, it's $3,800. I know
that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not super cheap, but for a carbon case. And after all, it is a Doxa, right? It's a real 300 meter water resistance watch, and it's an ETA 2824 with a date. So it's a cool watch. I thought it's a nice splash, right, for their return to the retail space in America. So thought that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And the next bit of news is
that's a really. I just wanted to stop on that one. That's a really nice looking watch. I think that carbon one. I think it's a great return for Doxa, and it's really nice to see them back in the watch space. I think.
Yeah, it is, and so at least for me, the coolest thing about this latest carbon release. I know this is gonna sound weird, but I like the one that came out last year, the limited one. But I thought, with some of these colors that Doxa uses, it's really, you love it or hate it, right? Not everybody likes, a teal, blue, or yellow watch. Right. And I think what's cool about this edition, you have all the colors, right? So you want a gray dial, you can get a gray dial. You want a blue dial, you can get a blue dial. You want the classic orange dial, right? You can get that. So I think it's really cool to be able to get it in all these colors. And obviously, the classic Doxa orange, if you can call it that way, is the blue one. They're really cool. So.
The icon.
It's interesting to see that you won't be able to get the beads of rice bracelet on this carbon model, and they're offering the rubber strap, which is interesting, but it's quite nice to see. I quite like the rubber strap mixed with the carbon. I think it goes with the dials.
Yeah, I'm not sure if having the beads of rice in stainless steel would be good for the carbon.
It may damage it. Yep.
Yeah, I would probably slowly damage it. And look, I know this is all about personal preference, but I really, really like rubber rubber band.
Yeah.
So to me, it's the kind of watch I'd want to buy. So I find it pretty cool.
Quick question. Is your Moser on the rubber band yet?
Yeah, it is. I'll look.
I knew it.
Yeah, I got the bracelet for that watch, but I seriously have come to the realization that I don't like bracelets that much.
Okay.
So I much prefer a leather strap or a rubber strap. And I think that's probably the reason why I don't wear the Pelagos that much. It's because I keep it on the bracelet. But I like to have at least one watch on a bracelet. I know that's weird. But I really like rubber bands.
I just want to welcome James Arthur to the stream.
James.
Welcome, James.
Hi, James.
Hi guys, how you doing?
We're
Yeah,
good.
that's
We're
about
good.
Good.
And I just want to before we move on from this, as this channel's official Doxa fanboy, I couldn't be happier to see Doxa coming out with something new, but something that's not straying away from the DNA of the brand. And it'll be interesting to see what is going to, how well the public is going to receive this. I think it's going to do really well and be a fairly big success for Doxa. Let me just welcome in some people that have. Yeah, let me just welcome in some people that have joined us. Paul M, Underachieving Watch Collector, our good friend Mark P, Forbin Colossus, Fries with Mayo, Mason One, Brent, our friend, our old friend Geezer, Ken Spear from Pittsburgh, and our very good longtime friend Howdy from Texas. Good to see you, my friend Howdy.
Yeah, good to see
welcome.
you all there.
Yep.
I just wanted to go on to the question Howdy from Texas pointed out. Carbon versus ceramic, are they equally as brittle? What do you know about that, NS?
So I think the carbon should be more impact resistant. I think ceramic, as scratch resistant as it is more brittle. So if you hit it really hard, it will break probably more easily than carbon, which is probably why a lot of manufacturers are starting to do a metal covered in ceramic instead of full ceramic.
Right.
But I think with carbon, you do end up having to finish it more. So you'd have to put, if you want it to look really nice, you have to put kind of like a paint and a lacquer in the resin that you put on top, which will give you a nice finish, nice colors, but it scratches and it can chip, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the way they have the naked carbon like look on these Doxas will be more resistant to scratches and chips, but it doesn't look as nice as a nice fired ceramic, right? So it's a little bit different.
Yep. I just also want to welcome Chip Gage, Maynard Joseph, Dr. Bill Sanders is in the chat, and our good pal Flippin' Zippo.
Nice.
So welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Hey, Bill. Hey, everyone. So the next piece of news is this new collection from Cartier. These three platinum tourbillon with completely skeletonized, I guess, movement and dial. And they're really interesting. I'm not sure about the price yet. I'm sure the price is going to be slightly obscene.
The Rotund series, really interesting.
Yeah.
These dudes, it's limited to 5 sets, aren't they?
Very Cartier like.
Yeah, well, so it's uncardiac-like, but I think if you look at the those bridges, those the way the skeletonized is shaped, right? It's very fashionable these days. It looks a little bit like some Richard Mille or some of the stuff that Parmigiani or Vaucher makes for their clients. So it's interesting. It's modern, and I think it's kind of a nice jewelry like type of watch with nice horology in it.
Yes. So this one you're showing at the moment is a mysterious double tourbillon, skeleton
Mhm.
double tourbillon. It's amazing. 52 hours power reserves, hand wound movement. It's caliber 9565 MCs. I mean, they just blow you away, these ones, I find. Or they did me. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
stuff that
Mhm.
Cartier is really excelling at now is top line stuff. I mean, this limited to 5 sets, price on request for these 3 watches, and
Mhm.
the price will be slightly higher than combined price of the individual watches, or over, they say, over $600,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's always a bad sign when the price is price on request. That means they're not going to be cheap. But I like it, right? The way that they incorporate the numerals in the skeletonized bridges, I think that's nice. And I think it's a cool series. They have this one here that this third model that looks a little bit like a some of it, the second hand is kind of reminiscent of a UN freak, right?
Yep.
Orbiting around. So I think it's nice. It's expensive.
Yeah, and different.
Yeah, and different. And look, if you're going to go out at that very very high end, market, I think it's a cool series, and they come in a very nice watch box. So yeah. It's interesting.
Nice. I just want to welcome in to the show Dr. Bill Sanders. Hi, Bill.
How you guys doing?
Hi,
I'm
Bill.
wondering. Hi. I'm trying to figure out who did the movement on this. Who was the person who won the Watchmaker of the Year? And she used to be the head of movement development at Cartier. I can't think of her name. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I know you mean.
Carol Forstner Kasapi.
Oh, what was that?
Carol Forstier Kasapi?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Female watchmaker that was once head of movement development at Cartier and then Richemont.
Right. Yeah. She comes from a watchmaking family. That's, for such a very long time, Cartiers were simply dumping in ETAs and things like that. And maybe some of the older ones had some Frederic Piguets, but, now, and then they...
Well, they're saying that the look is suggestive of the Ulysses Nardin Freak. It's because both watches were conceived by the same person, Carol.
Yeah, that's true. Her movement, I think, that they're using at Val Fleurier, that's used by Piaget and even the what was it, the sort of the bottom line 56 that Vacheron Constantin may have been one of her designs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really using nice movements these days. Cartier is really kind of in a Renaissance period.
Yeah, definitely interesting. What's your take on this, James? Is this something that interests you? Oh, maybe we lost.
I'm here. I'm back. So I had my microphone on mute.
No worries. What do you think about this one, James?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. It's too see-through for me. It's more art. I think it's I wouldn't wear one of these. It's just for me, it's just too much of a arty piece. Personally, it's very. I mean, look, it's very well done as far as the movement's concerned, and to get to this point. But yeah, I'm not a great fan.
It definitely straddles the line of horology and jewelry combination, and it's got quite a healthy price tag to boot. So
it's very. I mean, I've gone for some crazy pieces in my collection, but I think this is really pushing the jewelry versus horology type line. I'd have to say probably would appeal more to the female type jewelry.
I love the way they do the central carousel tourbillon watch with the movement revolving around its center once every hour,
like the free.
Yeah, that's
I find
cool.
that amazing.
Yeah,
so
I don't think I wouldn't buy or wear one of these though. I mean,
it functions as a mini hand as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they're like a floating movement, isn't it? It's like a floating movement in the middle. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's like a floating movement. But I mean, look, you have to look at that versus the price versus what else you could buy for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely very expensive.
Yes, for sure. I just want to welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to uphold their status.
It sort of reminds you of a cheap Chinese sort of looking watch.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the skeleton and the see-through, but this is kind of interesting. I just want to welcome Blancpain, Megan Arthur. Always good to see you. Thank you for joining us, Megan. And a big hello to Watches and Giggles. What's up, Chris? Hope you're feeling good.
Yeah,
congratulations on the birth of your son. Chris put out a great video earlier today. Everybody, please check out his channel, Watches and Giggles.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Good to see Detroit Spartan and Smoke Eater in the house. Good to see you,
Detroit Spartan and Smoke Eater. Good to see you guys too as well. Appreciate you joining us. So we got Dave Batoon next, NS.
Yep.
Wow, this is my sort of watch.
Yeah, I figured it would be. So this is their ultra thin DB28 XP. But they've added a blue meteorite dial, and they've done it a little bit like we've seen Parmigiani do in the past, where they take a meteorite dial, but they color it. And as usual with their cases and their hands, and now they heat treat the titanium bridge for the escapement and the hands. So I think it's really, really cool. Not a cheap piece, but I think it's a really nice special version of the DB28. And it's to commemorate the 10th anniversary of this model. So actually a nice, cool watch.
Well, you know what I'm going to say about it because of that blue. It's
you love blue dials.
I'm a sucker for blue dials. I haven't seen this watch, but having seen them up close and personal, Bill, at Watch Time New York, De Batoon watches are impressive, and I know James, you're a big fan of these as well.
Yeah, I've got a few, but I mean, the great thing about these watches are they don't have a great resale, so they're a watch. If you got some spare change, you can get into these watches at a reasonable price in the secondary market.
Yes. And just a quick hello to Doc BBC. Welcome, Doc, and ID Guy. Welcome. Always good to see you, ID Guy.
Hello, ID Guy.
Good to see you guys.
ID Guy. Yeah.
What do you think of this one, Bill?
Oh, I like it. One of the things that it's been very hard for me to really get excited about watches that are in a certain hemisphere that I can never afford. So
you and me both, Bill. You and me both.
Yeah, that was when I got my Urban Jurgensen, it was because it came out of that hemisphere, and I lucked into it. But in looking at this, I mean, of course, they're beautiful watches, and the horology behind it is really, I mean, everything you'd want in a watch. But what I'm trying to do with watches like this is find one thing in it that I might be able to afford. And so when I'm looking at watches, I'll say, aha, that one has the gizmo that the de Batoon had it, and isn't that nice? I mean, that's about it. But this is gorgeous. And the dial itself, I'm thinking, well, to what extent and when and how are we going to be in a place where all of this can be done with a 3D printer or something like that? Just whip out the dials that look this good. And I don't know. I mean, would that be still worth it? It's sort of like getting a copy of a Picasso rather than the original, but
it's cheating. It's still cool, but it's sort of kind of cheating.
Well, what's interesting about this particular one is that it's a lot like it's basically made to look like they're the one version. I forgot the name, but the one that has like the sort of constellation on the dial. And that's what they've done here, right? They make tiny holes in the meteorite metal, and they put in these little spheres that represent the stars, and you have the actual texture of the meteorite slice, right? So I agree, Bill, that maybe one day they can do something that comes close to this. But I think it's, there's a lot of craftsmanship here and the color that just comes naturally. So it's cool. But yeah, that's one of the things with the Batoon. Even their least attractive models, those would be their earlier, more classic looking models. Even those at this point have climbed up in price quite a bit.
I just want to welcome Abdul. How's it going, my friend?
All well, Bruce. All well. How are you?
Hi, Abdul.
How are you guys?
Hi, Abdul.
Hi, Abdul.
Hi, Abdul.
What do you have you seen this? This is the first time for me seeing this. Mike, what are your thoughts on this? Is this something de Batoon interest you at all?
Yeah, that's a sweet looking piece. I mean, aesthetically looks lightweight. I'm a sucker for blue too. Like I know you are too, Bruce. But like that's just an amazing dial, and to be able to see the tourbillon on the front side like that it's amazing. It's an amazing piece.
Yeah, it's really.
And it's also a strap monster as well. Batoon, just they come with different lights, so you can have if you got a smaller wrist or a larger wrist, and they just strap monsters as well. You can just put all different types of straps on them.
It is, and I have to tell you, if you ever get a chance to try one on, you won't realize how lightweight that watch really is, and with the spring-loaded lugs, it really it contours to your wrist. They're not. I'm not a fan of all their entire line. A lot of their watches have the bridge that looks like the Star Trek communicator badge, but something like this is just absolutely stunning and exceptional. Really beautiful.
Bruce, they like big up Scotty.
Okay, Hughes.
To be honest, too, a brand like that is one that I've never really, honestly, even done any research on at all. So I know next to nothing about that brand.
So before we move on to the next one, because everybody always asks, this one is $138,000.
Oh, that's all. No problem.
Yeah. So,
that was a shout.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm just.
He's been buying watches more than anybody lately.
So just switching gears a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but.
Wow.
I thought it was a fun release, the Alain Silberstein Bauhaus clock.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it looks great.
Yeah, very, very, it's really Alain Silberstein, just like all of his classical watches, all the elements.
As well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was cool. It's obviously a nice piece.
Looks
not
great.
cheap.
I love it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks. Yep. It's it's something that would look really, really nice in a house. Obviously, really nice.
Understand.
Retro stand and yep.
It screams funky. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can really learn a lot by looking at a clock like this. And I think it's a wonderful one, and it's at 0.5 hertz. So you could watch the gears and see what goes with what, and really understand horology better with something like this. I've got a soft spot for his works and watches too.
Yeah, no, he's always done very very fun things, and he used to use I forget the reference, but that Omega movement that got phased out, that had plastic parts in the movement, and it was really nice because they would he would put different color plastic parts to replace those gray looking parts. So it was he used to do really cool stuff. And yeah, I think this, aside from the fact that it's I think 22 or 27,000, 27,000 euros. Aside from that fact, I think it's a really cool piece. So
yeah.
Yep.
Really nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys covered this. I'm pretty sure it came out this week. So Blancpain is releasing the 50 Fathoms No Rad version of the 50 Fathoms in a reasonable size. So as usual,
this is 40 millimeters.
Yeah, 40 millimeters.
Back to the 40 millimeters. Yeah, the no radiation. This is just like the mil spec and the Barracuda in the 40 millimeter size, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's cool. I think it's what a lot of people have been asking for, right? More
agreed.
Reasonably sized variations on the 50 Fathoms. So it's a cool piece. Nice loom. Yeah, really really nice watch. So
having being a Blancpain fan, and I can carry the regular 50 Fathoms off at 45. It's a big watch still, regardless. But at watch time, I was able to try on the Barracuda, and talking at the same time to Tim Masso about it. The 40 millimeter 50 Fathoms is just it's perfect. It really, it's the perfect. They should be cranking these things out, and they would sell them like crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's another limited edition to 500, which is, on some level, it's understandable because Blancpain doesn't make that many watches every year. They're kind of a small company,
right?
Part of a huge company, of course. But yeah, it's nice, and at least this one is priced reasonably, right? It's not like
if you can say that about a Blancpain.
Well, it's actually $14,000, right?
Which is reasonable for them. Yep.
Yeah, it's not like they're mil spec that you always end up more in the 20 range.
And the best part about this special edition, no Houdinki.
Yeah. Yes, that's nice. But
I hope they make a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I hope they make like a normal edition without the date and without the engraving on the side. That would make it, for me, the perfect diver.
Agreed, Abdul. Agreed.
I'm with you, Abdul. Yeah, without that engraving on the side, if they only took that off, it'd be a winner. But I mean, even $14,000, it's still a lot of money. It
is.
Well, yeah. Look, it's all relative, right? That's why I say it's reasonable for this watch, right? For the 40 millimeter 50 Fathoms, which is kind of something that makes you think, right? Because normally with any other watch, even with this movement, you'd think that's pushing it quite a bit. But it's as if Blancpain has been able to kind of condition their customers, right? Where, okay, here's a 40 millimeter version. Wow, $14,000. That's cheap, right? Which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
But would you categorize this movement as a higher horology movement?
I mean, I know that a lot of people look at some of the specs on that movement and say, well, like 3 barrels and a long long power reserve. But it's not like it's a super high end exceptional horology movement. I think people maybe overhype that movement. It's not a bad movement, right? But it's not something that would required to be sold at super high prices.
Does it have a base of a Frederick Piguet still?
Well, they kind of all are, Bill, right? Because because Frederick Piguet sort of became Blancpain's in-house movement. So this is the 3-barrel movement that's been out there for a long time. It's the 1151, right? It is the Frederick Piguet movement.
Nothing wrong with Frederick Piguet, by the way.
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong. And it's Frederick Piguet, but at this point, you can really say that it is their in-house movement.
Oh yeah, Frederick Piguet used to own Blancpain, so that was sort of an interesting thing. When they were both bought by Swatch, they switched it around. They made Frederick Piguet Blancpain's movement maker, whereas before the son of the original, son of Frederick Piguet, bought Blancpain.
Interesting.
Trivia, I know. I'm sorry.
No, we love it, Bill. We love it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Thanks, Bill.
Yep. So so nice watch.
I love those. I love those pencil hands much more than the hands that come on the normal 50 fathoms. I love that one thing that they've done about it on there.
Yeah, it's nice. I do like I know people are going to say it's faux patina, but the way I look at it is they decided to use brown color loom. I don't look at it as faux patina, especially since they've carried that detail everywhere, right? On the bezel, on the hands,
the sapphire bezel, and on the
indices,
and on the hands. Yeah,
I think it really looks nice for that watch, and the loom is nice.
It looks great. Yeah.
It's one thing with Blancpain, killer loom,
but
on their sports watches.
Yeah, the only thing here I want to call out, and this is why I actually like the Blancpain or the Zenith when they have the date at 4:30, because I know a lot of people don't like the date at 4:30, but having the date at 4:30 means that when you're looking at the loom, you have a perfect loom.
Exactly, right? Which is why I don't personally have a problem with the date at 4:30. I don't mind it at all.
Yep. No,
I'd much rather have that. I'd rather have that.
I always like the date at 4:30. Nothing ever happens there,
Right.
It just gives it a purpose, I think.
It does, and some character. I just want to quickly welcome in a couple people who've joined us. Decon, welcome. Good to see you. James Con 11, good to see you. Forbin Colossus, and our good friend Junior Johnson. Hope all is well with you, Junior. That you're feeling well, and thank you for joining us. We always love having you.
Good to see you, JJ.
Having you with us.
Hi, Junior. I'm a Junior fan, by the way. I've got to run, everybody, but thanks for having me. And
Great to have you, Bill.
It's my pleasure. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm making and getting ready. I'm going to be sending to you, Bruce.
Okay, great.
All right, take care.
Take care, Bill.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
All right, so we move on to Audemars Piguet.
Yeah, this is going to conclude the news. It's basically half of the news. So Audemars Piguet basically released a bunch of new, I'd say, editions, basically, this week. So here they have a special green limited editions. So their tourbillon, their chronograph. So interesting watches. It's
They're jumping on the color du jour.
Yeah, they are. It's kind of interesting that it's limited edition, right? So maybe they're just testing the waters. We'll see another green one though in a moment. I'm not sure how I like it on the chronograph. It looks a little bit like it reminds me a little bit of the Daytona, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean it's interesting.
Yeah, they brought out a couple more green ones. They brought out one Royal Oak Jumbo extra thin with a smoke screen dial.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that in a second.
Sure.
Yeah. So they,
Yeah, I'm with you, Mark P. I prefer and I'm not the biggest Daytona fan in the world, but I prefer the Daytona to that chrono. The regular 3-hander or the tourbillon is is a lot better looking, at least to my eyes.
Mm-hmm. So
I love the pattern they've gone for on the tourbillon.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So another one that they released is the offshore chronograph. So they have a new version of it. So
that's a fully skeletonized tourbillon.
Yep. And it's automatic, right? So like it must have a they had released earlier this year or late last year a version in another case of this automatic tourbillon as well.
That's not a carbon case, is it?
I think it's titanium.
Yeah, I think it's
like they're only making 100 pieces. It's going to be 43 mils.
Is this something that piques your curiosity, James?
Already got my name down for one.
I knew it.
I prefer the size to be a little bit bigger, like the 44, but it's 43. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I mean, it's a reverse panda chrono skeleton. I mean, it's got everything going for it. I think it's a great looking watch.
They say it's supposed to be a more ergonomic case, so it'll be interesting to hear feedback about that.
It's going to wear smaller, but I think it's still going to be an awesome watch. I mean, it's still going to stand out. It's going to be huge on the wrist still, but I mean, it's not going to be as large as wearing a 48 millimeter jumbo or something.
Yep.
But look, it's a beautiful looking watch. I mean, it's got, what more can I say? It's still got the sort of reverse skeletonized panda look. I mean, what do you want in a
lot of people prefer the classic over the offshore, but I think that this one looks better than the gold one we just saw, at least for the chronograph.
I agree, and I'm with you, NS. I'm always a much bigger fan of the traditional Royal Oak over the offshore, but I think this chronograph looks better than the one we saw earlier.
Plus, it's got a rubber strap, so it's got that going for it. A really nice watch.
This was, I mean, look, they're sizing down Royal Oak offshores. If you look at the new line of Royal Oak offshores, they're all 44 millimeters. So they really are sizing them down to obviously the market say they want smaller, not bigger. So that's the future of AP. I think we're going to start seeing. So the guys who want bigger watches are going to. You see that the AP Royal Oak offshores, the ones that we like now, are all going up and up in value because the demand for them is getting greater.
Yeah, it's interesting because those were the Royal Oaks that people would scoff at before. So
right,
and the demand is just getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Was this your last piece?
There's there's a few more.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
So there's.
I think Bud's got the stud of this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is a beautiful piece. I've got this as well, but this is just the Royal
Very
Oak.
beautiful.
Yep. There's they have this one. So I'll go quickly through them.
No,
right?
no.
And
Take
if
your
you guys
time.
wanna-
Take your time.
But
My
this one,
daughter's got this piece. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is a great combination.
yeah, I'm a sucker for. I don't like gold pieces that much, but rose gold with chocolate
brown
dial.
Yeah.
It's just so
yeah.
warm,
That's
isn't it?
Yeah, that's just plus, with the leather, the brown leather, or the blue
I
one,
remember when
with the blue leather.
did a review on a fake, a homage piece, which was brown and brown.
Yeah, I mean they're beautiful.
They are.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
With the chocolate dial.
They're just amazing pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the brown over the blue.
The chocolate dial looks gorgeous, I think.
does.
It really, really does look something else.
Yeah, the blue is a little bit reminiscent of the new Vacheron Constantin overseas, right? That is the blue and gold. It's nice.
Yes.
Mhm.
You buy
And,
it on the bracelet. You buy it on the bracelet, and then you get the strap. I mean, but once you got the bracelet, you barely wear it on the strap unless you want to go lighter.
And they also came out with this one. I guess it's the non-skeletonized version of what we saw before, with the different movement, obviously. But I thought that one had a really nice color dial with the rubber strap as well.
This comes in a few colors. This is a great watch. I mean, whatever the color tone you like, this is a great watch.
Yep. Oh, it's
43 mils, a good size. Slipping in the sea dweller territory.
Yeah, I really like this one. I really like the color combination with the darker bezel, the pushers, and that dial color. I really liked it. So it's
I agree.
really nice.
The color tones of these ones. I mean,
Mhm.
problem is you'd have to buy all of them to have all the different color tones for different days.
Well, the good news is usually
choose just one.
Yeah. Well, the good news is usually your budget will help you choose just one. So at least for some of us.
You'd have to get a zip paper, wouldn't you?
And there's also the new the offshore diver.
Oh, the diver! I love the offshore diver.
It's a recreation of the diver, which is one of my favorite watches.
But I'm a big fan of the offshore diver. Yeah, Captain Zed's got one of these, and I've
with the interchangeable straps.
That really caught my eye. I think it's really cool to have that system for the straps.
I love this watch. I mean, I've got this watch already, and I mean, to bring it back again, it just shows you. I mean, this is like a Longines re-edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going back in their catalog, and again, I'm usually not. I'm more of a traditional Royal Oak guy, but this offshore diver. It's a stunning watch, really nice.
It's like bringing back a classic out of their range. I mean, really, what price they put on this? Have they said?
Sorry,
what price?
21 grand.
They're saying for the diver, they're saying 21,000 Swiss francs.
Okay. These are selling. I mean, these divers, the previous models, are well sought after on the second-hand market. And they're selling for more than 21 grand second hand.
Yeah, they're nice watches. I think once again, I'm not the biggest Royal Oak fan, mostly because I don't like again, I'm not crazy about bracelets all the time. But I do think that these are kind of underrated. And people look down on those sometimes because it's not the Royal Oak.
Right.
But if you can pull off the size, they're nice watches.
Yeah. No doubt.
That's my only issue with the watches. I couldn't pull off the 42 with of the diver, the offshore.
Yeah, although I the one thing I'll say about that is I've seen people with relatively small wrists, right? Wearing the offshore, not the offshore diver, the offshore, the big one.
Yep.
And while it looks big on them, it still wears nice, right? So I'd say if you can try it out, you might think that you can't pull it off, but it's such a nice looking watch that you might actually be able to pull it off.
I should, yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think, Mike? Is this your cup of tea?
Yeah, that one I was going to chime in. That one I could see myself wearing, especially just from I love divers, and that one definitely out of my price range, but that's a beauty, and I enjoy that case design too as well.
Yeah, and just with the interchangeable straps and all, it's a versatile, good looking yet traditionally styled AP. Just
So you
really
go
nice.
green over the blue, Mike?
Oh, would I like the blue more? Probably.
I thought so. I'd go for the khaki green in this instance. I love the khaki green.
Let me see. Do they have I don't know if they have a picture of the blue one.
Yeah, it had the blue, didn't they?
Here.
There's the blue.
Yep.
There it is. That's a good looking watch, guys. That's a mighty
You got
good
the
looking
blue
watch.
with the blue shirt.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Really
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
have to go for the khaki. I'm sorry. A khaki gets me every time.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
it's
blue,
stunning. I'm
Yeah.
usually not a green guy, but that khaki version is good looking.
Well,
as well.
Yeah, the
I
khaki
think,
gets me every time.
yeah, I think one of the things about the khaki one is that the bracelet is not too shiny and flashy.
It's
right?
more
So,
drab,
Right.
isn't it? It's more
Yeah.
olive drab.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
love it.
speaking of green,
No,
Yeah,
this
this
is
was
not me.
the jumbo extra thin 39mm in smoke
What's going on
dial,
with the
wasn't it?
indices? They're giving me sore eyes.
Well,
yeah, it's different.
this hasn't got a checkerboard tapisserie dial on it. This one,
Nope.
instead it's got radially brushed finished on the dial, which goes from
Interesting.
smoke green color to bright in the center to almost black at the edges.
Mhm.
So it's
Trying to
there's
do a Moser female.
Yeah, kind of
AP
Moser-ish. Yeah.
AP changing up the dials, yeah, copying the Moser look. Like,
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
they should have
the-
stuck to they should have stuck to doing the
Waffle.
tapisserie dial. That's their calling card for this,
Yeah, I
especially
think
for
so
the
as well.
jumbo.
Yeah, you know the
That's
one thing
completely
it's
wrecked
gonna
with the indices.
yeah the one thing that's gonna sound weird, but I think this watch, the date kind of ruins the dial.
Mhm.
Totally agree.
Mm,
Totally
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
buying the platinum top of the line, why do you need to put the date? Like you should just show the whole
I agree,
dial and
Abdul. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's
much nicer
completely
without
wrecked
the,
the dial. I'm sorry.
much nicer without the date. Like you say, if you're paying for the platinum watch, this one's going to be going for $100,000 for this
No.
15202.
Oh, only
It's,
100 grand.
Caliber 2121. It's 40 hours power reserve. It's
Mhm.
it's an expensive watch. It's
It's an
Yeah,
expensive and a delicate watch.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's not really their classic look, right? So I
No.
think you're spending a lot of money for something that's not that's not really a classic. It doesn't scream. This is okay. So
Doesn't say AP, does it?
yeah,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It doesn't say AP. And do you know what's weird? Like I look at it, and as much as I like this, right? I'm a super fan of Moser, but on this watch, it almost makes it look like a fake AP,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Looks like something you picked up at a market somewhere in Hong Kong or Singapore.
it totally does. It totally does. The whole logo on the 6 o'clock automatic at the 12 o'clock under the Audemars Piguet, and just
Yeah.
I'm
doesn't
starting
feel
to doubt
somehow.
the AP on that as if it's actually an AP.
Yeah, it really it's like the out of all of the APs we've looked at, it's the most un-AP.
Yeah,
Watch.
you're right,
You
NS.
guys
You're
are
right.
right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Abdul's right as well. I agree. And I mean, the dial is not even close to a motor dial. And
Yeah,
as
no,
soon
it
as
isn't. Yeah.
there with those, whatever they've got done to those indices, whatever those indices are giving off for those swirly lines. I mean, that's my iPad looking badly at it. See how the indices are giving off those lines.
Yeah. It hurts the eye somehow, right?
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Like I said before, the date shouldn't be there, but those indices are so long that it becomes so non-symmetrical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the date. So it's a weird
I
watch.
did God have the language for it. You'll see right now.
I was just gonna say, James, I wish ID Guy was on here just to get his take on this, because I'm pretty sure he would be picking this one apart. It's just,
$100,000 we wasted on this.
Yeah, a total miss in my book. They're trying to cash in on Moser's dial style. When you're buying if you're buying an AP and you're buying a jumbo, you want, at least to me, you're gonna want the tapisserie dial.
Yeah, and I think now it's I feel like it's too much green. Like
everybody's doing green, but everybody was doing blue before, so it's I can't harp on them too much for that, because they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
It'll be crimson. It'll be crimson next.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So the last AP that got released,
1159.
1159.
Gold and ceramic. So interesting.
Love the case on these code 1159s, but that's about it.
Yeah, this one, the dial, the first time I saw this, I thought the dial is very, very busy for I don't know, are we calling this a dress chronograph or a semi-sport chronograph? It's a little bit weird.
It doesn't know what it is.
I suppose it falls a bit more into the dress chronograph. It falls more into the dress chronograph category, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
it's more like an office chronograph.
Yeah, but with a huge, like usually you'd want a very, very subtle font and size for the tachymeter, right? Now it's really in your face, kind of like almost a sport watch. I think the subdials are very big too, and because they're a different color, right, than the main dial, they come out a lot. So I don't know. It's kind of like a
Dress Goes Sports.
I don't know, maybe a code 1159 offshore.
Yeah, that's a good description.
This whole line from them is just so. They keep trying, and I don't know.
Yeah, $36,000, right? I still think.
Yeah.
So I watched. I buy that for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think this one is nicer.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Much nicer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the news.
That's the news. Well, this is a good segue, and I'm glad that you ended into with AP. Because I wanted to just throw this into the discussion before we jump into Mike's collection. I don't know if any of you have seen the video that Austin Daniels did this morning.
No.
AP is announced and put out a video on their YouTube channel. They're doing a collaboration with Marvel Comics.
I read that in Watch Pro, yes.
Yeah,
I haven't said what it is, though.
they announced a partnership with Marvel, the film studio and comic book publisher that owns characters like Spider-Man, the Avengers, and X-Men. And this was originally thought of 15 years ago, but only managed to get set in motion in 2017, thanks to Don Cheadle, who's best known for playing War Machine, the Iron Man and Avengers film series, and he's big friends with Francois Henry Banham. Let me get the name right. Banamias. Is head of the Complications, and Michael Friedman, also who worked for the chief executives at Audemars Piguet, and they've managed to basically get the partnership inspired in part with fancy watches that General Genta featured with Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, and Marvel is now owned by Walt Disney Company, making it a realization and more ambition in more ways than one. And the details are going to be revealed in April during an event in Los Angeles. So,
well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It could be very tasteful and nicely done. I think even though it might not have been publicized this much, right? But JLC had kind of a partnership with the Marvel movies, where a lot of the characters wore JLC watches. So Doctor Strange, obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch is a JLC ambassador, but Doctor Strange wore a Reverso. Iron Man, Tony Stark wore a JLC Extreme Lab, and he also wore a
you have the knife watch as well. Wasn't it the one he featured the sword?
Oh yeah, with those other movies, the
Kingsman.
Yeah, the Kingsman. Right. So I think it can be done tastefully. I don't think we're going to see I hope we're not going to see a Royal Oak with Iron Man,
Spider-Man on the dial. Yeah,
a Royal Oak or an AP version of what Invicta does for Marvel.
Yeah,
with their watches.
I don't think we're going to see that. Right.
I hope not.
Maybe they'll try and put the code 1159 on people's hands instead.
I'm sure they are.
They might revolt the code 1159 range under Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very good thought, guys. Very good thought.
They also have the AP concept, right? Line, which would go well in superhero movies, and look, I think we shouldn't prejudge. People go crazy for Omega Snoopy watches and Tintin watches, right? So might be interesting. So it's we'll have to see.
Yeah, it totally it's a wait and see. I just I hope they're not going to do something stupid and
I don't think they will. I think they've got their head screwed on, and I think it's a business plan that they've worked out, and they'll know what they're going to want to do, and they'll want to make the most of it. And it's an advertising campaign, obviously, and they'll do something fairly sensible, I would have thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think so too. But it's AP, right? Even if they did something stupid, I'm sure they'll recover.
Right. It was just surprising to see a Holy Trinity brand do this kind of partnership, but it's the 21st century, so I guess why not?
Yeah, although I think AP is the more, I would say, playful of the Holy Trinity brands.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
So.
I just, I would just never see Paddock or Vacheron do something like this. But
Yeah.
hey, maybe it'll, you know,
they doing it.
yeah, you know, maybe they're going to use it to try and breathe some life in the like you said, in the code 1159, or the Extreme Lab. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So now that we've wrapped up the news rather nicely, and we thank you
very much for that, NS something.
Yeah,
great stuff.
You were sorely missed, my friend. Sorely missed.
I miss you guys too.
And we will now move on to Tennessee Mike and his collection, and just
welcome.
Yes, Mike's turn.
Just for anybody who isn't familiar, Mike has his own YouTube channel. I'm going to ask you later, Mike, to comment in the comments, and I'll pin it and post a link to your channel.
Yeah, so Mike, how did you get into watches to start off with? How did it all start off for you?
Well, probably about 2 years ago, I realized I needed a hobby, and watches seemed like a very manageable hobby. So little did I know at the
Boy,
time,
were you wrong.
Yeah, that was a big mistake, wasn't it? A rabbit hole.
Sure was.
A rabbit hole you got into.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
No doubt.
Do you remember your first watch as a child?
Oh, good question. Good question. I don't know. Hey, I warned Bruce. I knew the timing would be terrible. I need 5 minutes. My guy that I needed to talk to just pulled into the yard. Can you bear with me a second?
Yeah.
Go, sure.
Go take your
Thank
time.
you. Sorry.
Rob. Yeah, no worries.
Random Rob's joining us in the chat. How are you, Rob?
Hey, Rob. Welcome, Random Rob. Everybody.
Good to see Random Rob, and good to see Bobby Legs pop in earlier on. I saw him pop in.
Yep. Bobby Legs. Both those guys have excellent channels. I mean, everybody knows Random Rob. His channel is just is an amazing one. So it's good to see him.
Hey guys, we're at the top of the hour, and I'm sorry to do this, but I only have an hour this week for this. Unfortunately, still trying to wrap up a couple of projects, but
no worries.
Thank
you very much for joining us, NS. It's great to have you. Thanks very much for all your news input.
Great
really good.
It was nice to be here, and hopefully next week I'll be able to stay on for the whole show, and I will watch the replay. And again, thanks for everybody that joined in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so have a great show.
Yeah, take care.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Take care, Thanks.
Okay, hey guys, sorry about that. I'm back.
Okay, cool. You just and as something had to leave because he's got some stuff to take care of. So that worked out.
I think the question.
Yeah, Mike.
I
was
think the
just
question
asking
was
you.
about the watch.
Do you remember your first watch as a child?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I don't know if I really ever really wore a watch as a child. It's nothing that there's not any watch that really comes to mind. So I didn't have that childhood watch. I don't think my dad wore a watch, so it was kind of random.
So you got into watches about 2 years ago, and what motivated you to start your channel? Because you've got your own YouTube channel, the Tennessee Mike channel, which is we're all aware of. And what was it that motivated you to start your channel? Was that
Well, I think the whole thing. What I realized in time was that to just based on my disposable income, I realized that just going and buying watches all the time was not a sustainable way to stay in the hobby. And so I decided to put myself out there and just document my journey with the channel. And that's what really the channel is about.
Great idea. Yeah.
No high production value or anything. And it's something that I want to continue to grow in time, but I'm in no rush. And I've met some great people. Like I think just all of you, Bruce, Thomas, James, people on the stream. I've met just a great community doing that stuff there too as well. I think James and I met on not so obvious watching site. a couple years ago when
Yeah.
Pete was
Yeah,
like,
we
I
did
think he was
indeed.
one of his first subscribers. So it was kind of like a side benefit of just getting into the hobby, to be honest.
Mhm.
I never realized just what a great group of people are out there, to be honest. I could list names longer than my arm, to be honest with you, of people I've met.
And could you think of any advice to give anybody who's thinking of starting a channel?
I think if you're doing it to be famous, you're going to be sadly mistaken. I don't think that's a practical way to do it. But if you do it to meet people, have fun, give something back to the community, you never know what can happen at that point in time. There, I think that's it. Just have fun.
And
Yeah, well said.
I must say that's one of your punchlines that you say at the end of every video. Stay positive, make friends, and enjoy the journey.
Yeah,
I think that's a great phrase, Mike.
Great
Yeah,
mindset.
it's a great way to put your videos up. I like it.
Yeah, just again for anybody that's not familiar with it, please check out Mike's channel. It's really just about him documenting his journey through the hobby, and he's very pragmatic and very down to earth. And it's even with all the high end production value videos that are out there, and everybody's doing reviews and stuff, Mike is just telling it the way he sees it. Different aspects coming at the the watch YouTube scene just from a slightly different angle. It's very interesting. It's very refreshing, and I encourage everybody to watch his channel, subscribe to it. You'll be entertained and pleasantly surprised.
So Mike,
I appreciate that.
You let us take us through your collection, and you can tell us a bit about some of the watches that you've got. If Blue Shirt can load up some of the
I can
photos,
indeed.
Okay.
that'd be great. You can tell us about all the watches you've been amassing over these 2 years. Wow.
Yes.
So here we go.
The Casios.
We start with your love of Casios.
Yes. Well, I think so. I think being in the hobby and trying to find an affordable way to do it. Casio is where it's at. I mean, you get some unique stuff, and with these world timers, I've got 3 of them actually. One of them I won on I'm very lucky with stuff, so there's a few watches that I've won that I'll probably try to highlight through this. But I've actually won that the world timer on the bracelet I won, and the one with the funky pinstriping on it I won too as well. So
right.
Wow.
But
Where
just
did
having
you win those?
You won a Casio Oak as well, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, I won one off a Dane's channel and one off a Rob's channel.
So you won one of them off Celine Driver's channel and one off Bobby Leg's
That's right.
channel.
Yeah, well, yep.
Nice. You're a lucky man.
So I saw a video where it said you had 10 Casios.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, I think that's
10 Casios.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you added any more Casios, or would you be content with just these watches?
I think there's some more. I think I'm waiting for him to shift through the pictures. I think I've got some other Casios too as well. I've got the I just added a Pro Trek.
So
I think I shot a picture of.
Which ones are you showing here?
I watched that video when you bought a Pro Trek for summer.
Which ones have you got here? You got the gold one. Is that the
That's a Rusty, isn't it? The Rusty?
Yeah, that's a Rusty Royale. That's the
Rusty Royale
right there.
Yeah, I saw
that as well.
Yeah, and then the little data bank, there, but just a fun way to stay. Yeah.
The Rusty Royale. I saw the video where he said he got the Rusty Royale was the new one. Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed until I watched your video.
So I got the Rusty Royale, a data bank, and then on the right hand side, which one's that?
It's another world timer.
Another Royale.
The best $26 investment you can ever make.
I haven't got one of these.
You have to get one, James.
You have to get one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Everybody needs
and that
one.
Rusty.
Yeah.
That
The
World
Rusty
Timer
really appeals
actually
to me.
made it. The World Timer on the right actually made it all the way to Australia and back. So
Wow.
There you go. Everybody needs a Casio Royale in their collection. I guess I always say it's the best $26 you'll ever spend.
Totally agree.
If
with you.
you've got to get it as well, isn't it?
So
what
we're
was
ready.
that? I didn't hear that. Yep. Can move on.
Ready to move on?
Yeah,
move on.
Okay. So.
Oh, there's a pro
Yeah,
trick.
and here's a couple Casios here.
I've never
The
seen
one
these
on the
before,
left,
so
they're very similar. I wanted something with a barometer, thermometer on it.
Mhm.
And so I added the Casio on the left, and I don't know the model number honestly off the top of my head, but I added that one. It's like a $35, $40 watch. And then the fact that it wasn't solar, I actually added the Pro Trek recently. I wanted something to, for yard work, and that was solar. So I decided to add that one to it as well. So, but just the thing I like about the Pro Trek is, if you all have ever worn one of those, is like it's super comfortable. The rubber bracelet and the way it tapers down, super, super, super comfortable.
Cool.
That's when I
So
saw you
this-
do a video on.
This is a Duro, is it? And is this one with the altimeter?
Yes, they both have altimeters and barometer and thermometers too as well. So I kind of like that.
So you didn't coach
kind of
yourself
where I
all
am
the
in-
time.
Because where we are in Tennessee, the weather can change on a dime sometimes, and tornadoes occasionally to go through. So it is kind of nice to have it on your wrist. It's and they're surprisingly pretty accurate too.
So you find that Casios are a good little way into the hobby to sort of satisfy the need at a budget price.
Yes, exactly. It allows you when you get that urge to buy something to do it without breaking the bank. Is kind of what it comes down to, because there's excitement in just getting a new watch into.
So we'll go on to the next one. And this is your favorite watch you've got here, I believe, on the left-hand side, the Casio Gold Square G-Shock.
Yes, yeah, that's it's still what I don't know if it's definitely in my top two now. But I love that gold G-Shock. I wear it. It gets a lot of wrist time. The one in the center is probably arguably the one of the best watches in my opinion for like $50. It's a Casio Duro, and I've got it on a beads of rice strap.
That looks lovely on a beads of rice bracelet.
It does.
Yeah, it looks really nice, Mike.
Yeah, it's just a fun watch, and I think it punches way above the $50. And then the one on the way right is just a 5610, and I've got that on a combi bracelet.
So that's just a square.
That's just a square, but that gets a lot of use in the yard and stuff too as well. A lot of times it's the first one I throw on in the morning when I'm walking the dogs and stuff too as well, making coffee. So it's a pretty very, very comfortable and very lightweight watch. Really, really enjoyed that one. And it doesn't come on the combi; it comes on a rubber strap. But I made a mistake one time of trying to take it off the combi, and didn't use many cuss words, but I would try to put it back on again was not that easy. So it's gonna stay on there. It's gonna stay on there now. So
how do you find the difference between digital readouts and analog readouts? Which do you prefer? Do you have a preference, or do you just like toggling between the two?
Yeah, I enjoy going between the two. I think I don't know. I think they serve a different purpose, so too as well. So yeah, I don't. I'm not locked into one per se. I definitely love a mechanical movement, but I like these digital readouts, and I like I don't know. It's cool. It's cool that they sync up. Like the gold one syncs up to Bluetooth. It syncs up to the atomic clock and stuff. So it's got some cool little tech in it too as well. So
Yeah,
for sure.
So they're just fun. They're just fun. So now this next one, this is an old Citizens Eco Drive. Now I had mentioned I started collecting a couple of years ago, and for probably a good 7-8 years, this was my only watch.
right.
And I wore it every day to work. So
this was the inauguration watch.
Yes, yeah, it was just I had associated watches at the time. I had associated watches at the time with having it just to wear to work, and that's really all I did. So
yeah.
But this was a great one, and it's an amazing movement. I mean, considering how old it is and the fact that it's still going, it's amazing.
Oh, great watch to get you into the hobby. I mean, it's lovely to see what started you off. I mean, nice to see the watch that sort of started you off on the road, on the journey. And here we go to, what do we go to here, Mike? Then we have a.
Okay, so here are these are two of the first that I got. Two of the first mechanical watches I bought. It's an Orient Defender and it's a modded SKX 007. So this has really kicked it in a couple of years ago. These were two of the first purchases.
Oh, the Orient Defender was your first automatic watch, wasn't it? I believe.
That's a good watch.
Yes, technically I technically bought them both at the same time, but they I think it's a modded SKX, so it has a double dome sapphire on it, and it has like a aftermarket bracelet on it. So that one took a little longer to come, but technically they were both at the same time.
Yeah, the Orient Defender's got an interesting dial.
It's a good watch, the Orient Defender.
Has it got some sort of calendar on it, or has that got a stopwatch on it?
Date, seconds. So date window, seconds.
Yeah, the Orient Defender actually has a 24-hour and the date window too as well.
24-hour clock on dial.
Yes.
Right, got you.
It's a very nice field watch. Yeah.
And what can you
say? A little field watch, but
no, I was just going to say, what can you say about the 007? It's a
classic, isn't it?
It's the classic that everybody at some point has in their collection. I know I had my 009 in my collection for a while. It's virtually indestructible.
The world stopped when this continued, didn't it?
Yeah.
When I discontinued it.
Yes, and people. Yes. Yeah,
and I think
I'm sorry, guys. I get a guy that it's springtime in Tennessee, so the guy that helps me with my lawns here right now. So if I cut in and out, I'm just talking to him too as well. So no worries. It's weed season in Tennessee right now too as well. I'm telling you, it's just trying. We've been in this house for 4 years now, and we're trying to learn, how stuff grows and try to get ahead of it if we can. But it's we don't have a lot of land. I've got about an acre here, but I'm telling you, it's stuff grows.
Sure, I can imagine. But
these two right here don't get a ton of wear currently. But like I still, part of what I like about, I'm kind of realizing that I'm probably not much of a flipper, even though I have sold some stuff. But I kind of like the documentation, just like the YouTube channel, just how the collection itself documents the journey too as well.
Yeah, sure.
So to be able to go back and kind of see what can keep you in the hobby and how your tastes progressed and so forth. I think it's pretty cool, and I like that story that it tells.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
That's
they're
good,
both.
good pieces.
Yep, exactly. And both of these watches are perfect entry pieces into the hobby. Well,
and I think they prove just like Casio too. I think pieces like this kind of prove that NS was showing some killer high end pieces earlier, but it's kind of a nice contrast in the hobby that
exactly
for folks starting off or have a different budget, you can get into this hobby, and that's why I think it just brings in such a great group of people across tons of different demographic groups. It makes it interesting because it'd be a very boring hobby. It'd be a very boring hobby if everybody collected the same thing. Like,
yes.
It wouldn't be a hobby.
As we say constantly on this channel and amongst our friends that are in this chat and on various other chats, it's nice to be looking at things that are not the same 10 watches that everybody's looking for, everybody's talking about. It just gets tiring after a while of talking about the same watches over and over and over. As much as you guys know, I'm a Rolex fanboy, as big as many other people. But
you're a bluesy fanboy, aren't you?
I'm a bluesy fanboy. Guilty as charged.
Not a Rolex fanboy, bluesy fanboy.
Guilty as charged.
Nothing wrong with that first.
No. So we'll move on. What's this one, Mike?
Well, this looks nice.
Okay, so this is a mundane. It's a mundane stop to go. So
I love this watch.
I love this watch.
Love it. I really like this watch, Mike.
Every watch should have one of these in it.
Yeah, so when the second hand gets to the 12, it goes down. It goes around like in 58 or 59 seconds, and then when it hits the 12, it stops and moves forward. And as you guys probably know, it's based on the Swiss railway clocks too as well, so they can synchronize their trips.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And I think the first time I saw a video on this one, I added it to my list. So it's just a fun watch.
Have one of these.
Yeah, it stops at 58 seconds for 2 seconds, and then the minute hand moves, and then it snaps into 12 o'clock, the second hand.
Interesting. I did not know that.
This is a great watch. It's so legible. It's so easy to read when it's on wrist. I mean, you can read it from far away. I mean, it's just a wonderful watch.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's wonderful. Really, really, I love this watch. I'm a big fan of it. Sorry,
me too.
And they actually have another version too as well. That has the hour and minute hands are actually back loomed. So the loom is on the back side of them, which is pretty cool in my opinion too.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That is very cool. I've seen that.
This is my favorite watch of yours, Mike. I think, to be honest.
This is a watch that if I'm buying a watch for a young person as a gift, like pre-teenager. This is the watch that I always buy them as a gift. Basically, my family, we always buy people our gift. We always buy somebody is always a watch. So if it's a pre-teenager, this is the watch that we always buy them as a gift. So you can get them in smaller sizes too. Of course, they're not always this size. You can get them in smaller sizes as well, and they come in the nice packaging, like as you would know, and with the history about the railway system. So this is what we always buy people as a gift if they're pre-13.
This is the company that makes the Swiss railway clocks.
Yes,
they did indeed, yes. So you can get these on German Shop as well, Bruce. You can get them on German Shop, and but they also have clocks that go by your bedside. There's heaps of different things they do now, but there's a wonderful company.
Yeah, the one thing that these watches and their clocks are legibility is off the charts. I mean, you can. I was in Switzerland as a child, and I remember seeing these clocks, and you could see them, clear from one end of the platform to the other.
Yeah. And these watches are such a bit. I love the bands on them. I think the leather and the simplicity of the band is just so great as well. I mean, it's very unisex.
So what have we got next?
I've tried that mundane on other bands and bracelets and stuff, but I had a mesh I tried it on, but I have to agree. I really like it on the leather best.
Yeah.
No, you've got to keep it on that leather. It really is. It suits it to the ground. That it belongs on that leather strap that it comes on. It's a gorgeous watch, that Mike.
Oh, what a great Microbrand watch this is.
This one. Which one's this? Is this your Traska?
The Traska.
This is a Traska Freediver first. They just came out with their second iteration, but this is the first one. This is my first Microbrand watch. So
you speak to John?
What's that?
Did you speak to John?
No, I got the second hand. I got this one. I actually got this one second hand. So, but I like it. It's with summertime coming. I like the mint green, and it has a proprietary scratch coating on it. It's really there's a few little scratches on the clasp now, but I'm the third owner on it, but nothing on the bracelet. So that whatever they do for scratch coating is fantastic.
Yeah, there's a coating you can get now, which they put on the watches. Microbrands are doing it more and more. The good Microbrands are anyway, to prevent if they're creating watches which are shiny or doing over polishing, they're putting coatings on them now to prevent scratching, which is quite effective.
So, Mike, you say that this is your first Microbrand watch, and you seem keen on Microbrands. Is that because you can only have so many Casios and Seikos, or because you find that many Microbrands offering great watches?
Yeah, I think they're a bargain, and I think it's something when you're looking for something that's unique that you're not going to really run into anybody that has one. They're great.
You had me banging on the background, didn't you, Mike?
What's that?
You had me banging on the background of Microbrands.
Yes, I'm having a hard.
I said you had me banging on the background to you about Microbrands.
Yes, I do. I do like Microbrands. Yes.
So was it because you find you can't have too many Casios or Seikos, or is it just that you find that it's a great offering from Microbrands, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to build diversity in the collection, to be honest, too, as well. And I kind of have a rule with with Microbrands specifically, is that I don't want to have more than one of each brand. I won't get another Traska unless I get rid of it.
Sure. I was going to say,
good idea.
I was going to move on to say, have you got any favorite Microbrands, or is it Traska been just your first one of you've not really adventured more into Microbrands yet?
Yeah, I've got the Traska, and actually just one. I'm not sure if we get a picture of. I don't know if we got a picture of it because it was a recent edition. I actually won like I said, I'm lucky. So I actually won from Bruce Williams. I'm one of his Patreons. I actually won a Mitch Mason Chronicle.
That's
really nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Congrats.
I love it, Mike. It's a great watch.
Well, it's when I was worried too. It's a bit because it's 36.5 millimeters, and it's but surprisingly the way that it's designed and the case design and the way the bracelet works on it. It works on my 7.25. So
And that's
people
a bright
think,
watch. It's nicer.
Yeah, people think I think 36 is small, but if the case is designed correctly, like the Datejust, for instance, even 17, 17.5, 18, you could wear it easily, and it would not look too small.
Well, and you guys saw the first one. That first watch that I wore forever was that Citizen Eco Drive, and that's not much over 36 too as well. So I guess you just I kind of like stuff that spans the sizes too as well. I don't think I don't know if I have a favorite size per se. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say it's always it's 40 and 20, right? But at the same token, sometimes it's fun to wear a smaller watch or a bigger watch.
Right. Definitely a nice watch, nice looking watch, Mike. And
so I saw you. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Thomas. Go ahead.
I saw you were looking at a Doxa 300T in one of your previous videos, Mike. And are you still considering that watch?
Oh, I've kind of moved off. It's funny. I think I talked about this in one of my videos, but I think I kind of get to a point where I can actually buy and sell a watch before I even buy it. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not.
Well, that saves a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
I kind of work my way through it too as well. I don't know, and there's something. I think some of the not to get political about stuff in general, but some of the backstory on Doxa and the split with Rick Marai there and all that stuff. I don't know. It turns me off a teeny bit from the brand, just to be honest.
Yeah.
And I realize there's two sides to every story too as well, but at the same token, there's something that I have a hard time just connecting. I have a hard time connecting with that brand. If I could get an older Doxa.
Sorry, carry on, Mike.
Oh no, I was going to say if I could get an older Doxa, I may be interested in that. And when you'll see in my collection, I do have an Aqua Dive, which you'll see soon too as well, which is a Synchron watch.
Well, I just bought one of the Synchron militaries, one of the revival that Rick Marai. He's just revived Synchron, and he's just stolen the design from the Doxa Army watch, and he's revived it into the into the Synchron military. And
no, I saw those. Those are great for $900 on pre-order.
Yeah, 990. Yeah, they've all sold out now. But
yes, we're waiting for the full report on that, Thomas, when it comes in.
Yeah. Just on back to the Microbrands. Another brand you looked at was Monta and their Noble watch. And have you been tempted by that recently?
I have a little bit with the Monta, but I think right now where I'm going, I don't know, snapshot in time, right? So I think right now where I'm going is I've been looking hard at Damasco. Right now is kind of piqued my interest. I'm hoping to add something probably towards the end of May. I may add something. So
okay.
Maybe Damasco's in-house movement. I'm not sure exactly, or just maybe just the basic. They do the one that Random Rob just got. I kind of like that one too as well. So I don't really know. I don't really know at this point. But Damasco is one I've been looking hard at, and then another one that would be a little bit of a stretch for me that I've been looking at is I'm probably going to mangle the pronunciation because I don't think there's an S at the end, right? Is it Longines?
Yeah, you're fine.
Longines. The Longines Spirit. The Longines Spirit, I think that is kind of like a pilot's design watch. I keep going back to that one a little bit, and I actually really like the aesthetics on that one too as well. So I think I'm kind of honing in on the pilot style watches.
Okay.
I've seen a couple IWCs that kind of piqued my interest, but that may just be a little bit too much of a stretch for me.
Yeah, no, Longines is great bang per buck, and they're going back in their archives and bringing out some really killer stuff. But as I mentioned to you before, Mike, when you were thinking about the Doxa and putting the political stuff aside, has recently come to the forefront. As an owner of a sub 300T, I can't recommend that watch enough.
Brilliant watches. Yeah,
it's a fantastic watch. Not so much the new sub 300, but the 300T is just it's it's not everybody's cup of tea. You have to be into the aesthetic and the shape. But it's just a fantastic watch. It's running mine is running 1 second above, 1 second faster than Kosk. And the Beads of Rice bracelet is just something that everybody should experience. It's one of the best bracelets around.
Yeah, it's a great watch. Yeah, so
I'm a fanboy, so
move on to the next watch.
We will move on to the next one.
So you've got this one's beautiful. I love this shark mesh bracelet. You've got it on this Milanese bracelet. This is the
Aquadive.
The Aquadive.
Correct.
This is a lovely one, Mike.
Looks like a Bostock.
Yeah, this is the offshoot of Doxa.
Okay.
I guess Mike had to step out for a second.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's
really
nice.
Got a cushion case.
Yep.
70s look.
It
Yep,
does
the mesh
look
bracelet.
like the like James said.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Komandirsky. I think that's the name, the GMT one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. From that angle, looks like it. Yeah.
Is there a bit of rust going on there?
I don't know. That's
Fresh
definitely
stainless steel.
yeah.
What's this aluminium?
No, I'm
Sorry, I
sure.
really put that one on a crown and buckle chevron, which I think is going to live on for the summer. To be honest with you,
It's lovely, Mike. Yeah.
And I think if I eventually did get a Doxa, I think I would probably flip out of this and then go towards a Doxa.
Good idea. Yeah.
I think the design language is a little too close. So
agreed.
Yeah, I've grown to really love this watch. Just the cushion case is my first cushion case watch, and I definitely see what all the fuss is about with those. I can tell you that it's just super comfortable on the wrist.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Cases.
Yeah.
So
do I.
Bruce.
Yeah, I love cushion cases. Big fan of cushion cases here.
Everybody does. I mean, 70s, isn't it? I mean,
what size is this, Mike? Is this 42?
I'm pretty sure it's a 42. Yes.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Lug to lug, maybe just a tad over 50, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like 51
off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But the cushion case really it sits well on the wrist.
Yeah,
well, like I said, those chevrons. The first time I ever tried a Chevron Strap, and I'm telling you, like that, I really like that actually even better than a NATO, to be honest, because it doesn't you don't get as much buildup underneath on your underside.
Yeah, definitely. Really is a nice strap. That lovely.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, the Aquadive. So we're getting to the Seiko Monster Blue Dial. Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of my pride and joy. I think I get more compliments on this watch than anything else in my collection, to be honest.
Beautiful watch.
Yeah,
the dial color is just spectacular.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is one that I could probably. The monsters are that I got it on eBay from Japan, and I'm telling you, like those monsters just move up in price. I think brand new, if you can find one, they're about getting close to double what I paid for them, to be honest.
Wow.
But I just love this one. This is the loom is killer on it, and just a fun watch.
Is Random Rob still wearing his orange one?
Yeah,
he always he always says on his streams and in his videos, that's the one watch that will be with him for life. That's the iconic Random Rob watch, that orange monster. But this color is outstanding, Mike, and it
looks great, Mike.
Truly a beautiful watch.
Yeah, this jade is just brilliant. It's a spectacular color, and this monster is like just a killer watch. I remember when you got it, Mike.
Yeah, I really like this one, Mike.
Yeah, and it's different enough from other Seikos that it's its own thing, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I super enjoy it. Like I said, that color is just off enough where it is definitely unique.
Yep.
Another watch you were looking at, Mike, was the Zin 104. Does that still take your fancy?
Yeah, the Zin 104. Yes, the Zin 104. It's been something I've been kind of thinking about a little bit too. But if you remember, I can't remember. It was maybe last summer. They jumped up all their prices at Watch Buys too as well. So then
they did. Yep.
And the Zin drop, it wasn't a ton, but it was a couple $100. And I think once you get closer to that $2,000 range, it makes you just rethink a little bit about maybe looking at something else too as well. So I think at 1540 or 1640 before it was a deal, but now I'm not so sure. I'm just not so sure right now. So part of me feels like I've moved past that a little bit too, unfortunately or fortunately, depending. Bought it and sold it already.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably want to go towards the one of the limited editions if I went that route. If they come up with something else, especially with the Arabics, that blue one. I know a few people that have the limited edition blue, and it's killer. Like with the brown loom. I like that term better. But and I think if they came out with a white dial Arabics one, that would be a tough one to resist, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Just going from Zin and Seiko to Omega. I noticed you had the Omega logo on your introduction to your videos. Are you an Omega fan?
Yes. Yeah. Well, when I started I just haven't. I don't know if it's just laziness or the technical know-how. I probably need to redo my intro. So I did not. When I first started a while back, I was saving and I was convinced I was going to buy an Omega. So and then I changed my mind on that. And which I can we can circle back around to that too, because I ended up buying something else instead, which we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Well, how dare you, Mike? You're not allowed to change your mind.
Yeah, right.
I was going to ask you, do you have an Omega? Which one would you opt for if you bought an Omega?
I for the longest time, I thought I was going to go after the S&P 300, the new iteration.
Yeah.
But I really, for what I do for work and how I wear it, the Aquaterra is. It's hard to resist the Aquaterra, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And so that that's that has that same movement, I think, or just maybe just a little off, but.
We go on to your work watch at the moment, or one of your old work watch, which is the Oris Big Crown pointer date on a bracelet. This is a lovely watch. I love this. I love the bracelet you've got it on as well.
Yeah, that was it came on the bracelet, which you don't see very often.
No, you don't. You really don't.
No. They generally come on leather, but this one, I love the vintage look of it, and the way that the crystal, the crystal design, it gives you some great distortion, and then just the fact that I don't mind a date on a watch, because you guys were talking about that earlier. But this one just keeps it so much cleaner because it doesn't interrupt any of the Arabics. It doesn't interrupt the symmetry of the dial, and that that pointer, that the way it displays the date and that complication, I just think is uber cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a very unique dial color.
It is, and a classic watch. I mean, the pointer date is just, it does everything well, and as you said, it's definitely you don't see it on the bracelet that often. I mean, it's always on. Whenever you see this watch, it's on a leather strap. So you having it on the bracelet sets it apart.
I'm going to try it. So the Mitch Mason that I won came with a rubber strap, and it came with a nice Italian blue leather strap too as well. And I'm going to try. Eventually, I think I'm going to try that blue strap on this Oris. I think it'll actually complement it really nice. So there's another nice little side benefit there too as well. And I've had a hard time finding actual leather straps that I connect with. I tried to put this on a leather strap a little while back when I first got it, and I just didn't connect with it and quickly switched it back to the bracelet. So
it's a lovely watch, Mike. I think it's a great all-day wearer, everyday wearer. This one, it's served you well as an everyday wearer, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Until we get to the next one here. So
yeah,
this one's taking a little bit of a back seat.
Speaking of which,
yep. And so this one, and actually, this is what I decided to wear today. Actually, so
it's you, the Black Bay 41 Blue. This is your new watch, the most you've ever spent on a watch. And,
it is.
You prefer the size from 41 to the 58, and to the Black Bay 58, and you like it as a smart work watch. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Great watch.
Yeah, I like the simplicity. I like the simplicity of it, and I picked it up. I picked it up used. I actually bought it from. I bought it from Rob. We had done he and his family went down to Florida, and we had met up in Chattanooga briefly, just for about an hour on his way through. And I got to check out this one. I also got to check out the S&P 300, the white dial one too as well. But when I picked this one up and tried it on, it just you guys know it just spoke to me. As soon as I tried it on, it spoke to me. Like I had that reaction. I had that reaction to it more so than the Omega. So it was very interesting. And
I was just
really have to.
Go ahead. I was just.
It just goes to prove the value of trying something on is huge.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. I would when you. I mean, I couldn't have been happier that Random Rob sold this to you, Mike, because I was just surprised that because he loved this watch so much and he wore it a lot, and he's got so many watches, and this was his go-to for a long time. I was truly surprised, when he said that he flipped it. But I'm so glad that you got it and you fell in love with it, and this is now, has the majority of your wrist time.
Yes, and I think the thing is too is it really, and I think I kind of rambled on this on my channel a little bit too. Is like once you get. I don't want to say it diminishes other watches, but it just changes. It's a perspective change. But I'm still probably working through right now, to be honest. You're working through that because obviously, again, you've got discretionary income limited, but at the same token, I'm getting to a point now, if I can enjoy what I have for a little while and keep saving, I can add another, what I would call higher end piece, maybe another Tudor or something else too as well. So it's just kind of hard to figure out what direction you want to go in. But when you see there's such a jump, even that Oris is a great watch. And so retail wise, they're probably around $1,300 apart. But the difference, it's just interesting to see that difference, even from the Oris to the Tudor. And it's kind of hard. I'm not going to be able to articulate it well, but the quality jump to me is significant.
Yeah. No, you said it perfectly, and that goes for when you move from one brand to another, and you just when you put it on, and like you said, it's hard to explain, but when you put something on your wrist and it just you can just, I know it sounds dopey, but you can feel the quality, and it just you just know, and you're instantly connecting with the watch, and you know that just like this is the one for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a fantastic watch.
It's a great watch. Yeah.
The beautiful thing about these black bays with the ETA movements in them, any watchmaker that's worth its salt can work on this when it's time for an overhaul. The parts are always going to be available. 9/10 of the watchmakers out there train on ETA movements, so it's just this watch will last you for decades.
Well, I think they're going to become increasingly difficult. I don't know about this one, but I know the Black Bay. I've been kind of looking around a little bit, and it's almost impossible to find. And then the prices have shot way up on them. Are the Black Bay 58s with the smile dials with the ETA movement? They're very.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not out. They're not out there right now, and they're jumping up in popularity and price wise too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm really happy I have mine when I got it back then, because I didn't think it would be collectible. I just got it because I hated the rivets on the other strap, the bracelet, and I really liked the smiley dial. And I was like, okay, it will have the ETA, it will work great, it will be cheaper to service in the future.
I saw one of your videos. Sorry, I saw one of your videos, Mike, which was your Core 4 video featuring 4 of your favorite watches, which the 4 were the Monster, the Oris Big Crown Pointed 8, the Casio 56, and the Traska Freediver.
Mm-hmm.
Would that lineup still be the same, or is it time for a new video update, do you think, for your Core 4?
Yeah, probably time for a new video. I'd have to say, but actually, so I'd have to say right now, if I went to my top 4 right now, it would definitely be the Tudor, the Gold G-Shock, the 5600,
the Bling Master.
Yeah, the Bling Master, and then after that, probably
Psycho Monster.
Probably the Monster. The Monster's there too as well. But honestly, at this point right now, I think
the Mitch Mason's got to be in there.
I don't know, possibly. I think if I had to say, if you had to press me right now and say, hey, you can only keep 3, you have to sell everything out, flip everything out,
mm-hmm.
I would probably keep the Tudor, the Bling Master, and the Monster.
Okay,
really?
Fair enough.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep. I think that's where I'm at right now too as well. Not that that's going to happen anytime soon, but at the same token, because if I could flip some of those other ones, it could, the money I've got saved, it could put me into another price, into another pricing tier. So it's definitely some stuff that crosses my mind. But I don't know about you. I don't know what you all think, but like the act of actually shipping watches, and I know a lot of people that Rob's site, Discord site, there's a lot of movement of watches and stuff. But flipping watches and selling the mailing is the biggest pain in the rear that I think possibly is.
It's a hassle. It's a hassle, man. It certainly is.
Have we got anything else coming up, Blue Shirt?
We can. We've got some other ones in here. This is a nice shot of the collection that I used for the title slide.
Is there anything we missed in there, Mike?
No, that's my top box. You got the Casios. Like I said, I had won some other watches through. I think I met Thomas through. James invited me to Megan's Discord, and so then I met Thomas through that. And then, surprise, surprise, I won some other watches. So I've got some stuff in my lower box. I've got that I've got a couple watches I won from Megan. I think I
they're
maybe sent a shot of a lower box.
I think they're in the next photo. Yeah, if we can go to the next photo.
We can indeed.
So on the bottom left, we see a Heritor Edgard.
I just sized that up.
Bottom middle, we see a Ingersoll Regent, and in the bottom right, we see a Shield Pro Diver. I can see. I recognize those three.
Is that a sapphire bezel, the one on the bottom left corner?
The bottom left corner is a sapphire bezel, yes, on the Heritor Edgard. There's a copy of the Zodiac Super Sea.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah,
I think they say it. I think they actually. In the literature, I think they say it is sapphire coated. Does that make sense?
Right.
I mean, that's the exact word. I think that's the exact wording, which I don't think I've seen that before.
Right.
So.
Right. I've got one with a blue and a Pepsi style bezel, and I wear it quite a bit, and it's lovely. I love the Jubilee bracelet, and it's a really nice watch. I've got it's got an orange minute hand, and it's a lovely watch. Yeah.
I won those. I actually won those three there at the bottom, and then plus a little Bertucci field watch too as well. So
nice.
Like I said, I've been super,
nice.
You're a lucky man, Mike.
Lucky.
You are, man.
I am.
Very lucky, man.
I need to start playing the lottery, I think.
Who knows what could happen?
You're certainly winning the watch lottery, from YouTube watch channels.
And on the top left, you've got the Mitch Mason. Is that on the top left there?
No, that's actually the Citizen. That's that Eco Drive Citizen.
Right,
okay.
It doesn't get a lot. That one doesn't get a lot of wear, so it doesn't really get into the top watch box. I'll take it out and charge it up once in a while, but it's just. But like I said before, it kind of tells the story, though. You know, it's just like the fact that was my only watch forever. It's cool to still have it, and it's probably one of my most accurate watches. 10+ years old, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sentimental value, I think, for this watch is just. Much bigger than anything else, I guess.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
I totally agree.
You said on your most recent video, Mike, that the Black Bay could be a one and done. Could you make do just one watch? Do you think?
I think if hard pressed, I think I could live with just the Black Bay 41 for a while. Sure. But I don't think that would happen. If I was pressed to choose, like if I only could keep one, it would definitely be the Black Bay 41. And honestly, between having something like the Black Bay and then having like a cool G-Shock Square, to me that's a kind of a nice 1-2 punch where you've got something that's mechanical and then something that's durable too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'd definitely like to add another square, and G-Shock's doing some crazy stuff right now. Obviously, all the titanium stuff that they're doing, they're playing with different colors now too as well. They just released I want to say, I think it may be titanium, but all different colors. The actual bracelet itself is like rainbow. I don't know if you, I don't know how closely you guys look at some of that stuff, but it's pretty cool.
Well,
so it kind of shows what they're going to be.
Quite interesting that you mentioned G-Shock, so we can go on to your. I asked you if you could give us 5 watches as your grails. And,
okay. Yes.
You gave me 5 watches to post up, and I've sent those to Blue Shirt. If you can bring them up one by one.
Yep.
And the first one, talking of G-Shocks, is your first grail watch is a full 18-karat gold G-Shock for $70,000. So this would be a first choice in your grail watch acquisition. $70,000 G-Shock. Tell us about it, Mike.
Yeah, there's only 35 of those worldwide. It was part of the Dream project. So that was a tough. Those questions was like that was a very tough question. So I was kind of, I researched the heck out of everything that I do. So at the same token, when you kind of say like the sky's the limit, that's really a rough one. So I put some stuff forward, but this is one, like, if I think just with my love of G-Shocks and the squares, like this one would just be super cool, and I think it would fly under the radar. It would fly under the radar too as well. Nobody would know that you have that on your wrist.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows
because they would think it's just
yeah.
They would think it's just a regular bling master, not
Yeah.
solid gold, 18 karat gold.
So it might be wearing
exactly.
his arm by his side, dragging on the ground.
But this is was a cool choice, a very, very cool choice.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Mike.
This would be your lottery watch, Mike, right?
Yes, yes, that would be a fun one to have. That would definitely be a fun one to have.
All right.
So the next one, we stick with gold. You're obviously into your gold watches, Mike, which is interesting because not many of us go for the gold look, but this is a beautiful watch. I think I'd be a fan of this, to be honest with you.
Me too.
The rose gold Aquanaut, the 5167R. I couldn't find a new price for this, but they were going second hand for £50,000 to £60,000. These.
Yeah, that's what I saw. 50. I saw 50 on it. Yeah.
Very
about 90,000 US.
Yeah, and I like that, and I think I was thinking. So part of my thing was when the question was asked about your 5 that you'd be looking at. I think some diversity among the really high tier brands, and then to me it makes sense to go precious metals at that point in time too as well.
Yeah.
So, but this one, that chocolate, I think that's considered a chocolate dial with the Arabics. Like that is just that's stunning in my view right there.
It is, and I'm not the biggest rose gold fan, but it's an amazing watch. It really is.
Geezer's just telling us it goes for half the used price. It goes for 31,000 on retail. 31,000 pounds.
Thank you, Geezer.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful choice, this, Mike. I think it's gorgeous, the rose gold, especially. Yeah, really, it's a gorgeous.
It's classic. It's classic.
Really, really is a gorgeous color tone. That geosphere dial of the Aquanaut I really like too myself. I think it's a beautiful dial.
Yeah, and just like I said, just the contrast there between that rose gold and that dial color. It's an amazing look, I think.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So,
all right,
triple the price if you want to take the price up quite a bit more to £109,000. We go to the Vacheron Overseas Tourbillon. Stainless steel, this one. So we go from precious metal to stainless steel.
Good choice, my friend. What a watch.
Very nice. Yeah.
42.2 millimeters.
I think. Yep.
Comes
I think
with
you have to do like I.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't mean no. I think you have to do like doing the Patek and then doing a VC like that with the tourbillon on the front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Definitely a killer. Just definitely a killer piece.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, Geezer's saying he loves his Maltese cross tourbillon cage. It's really is nice.
Yeah,
look
it's
at
just
that! Wow,
it's just stunning.
Very nice. Peripheral rotor.
Oh, great loom shop. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love it. So this is the 6000V-110A-B544 movement, I think. It's got three
That's right,
bracelets coming with the rubber, the leather, and the steel bracelet. It's got
Mhm.
80 hours power reserve, which will keep you going for quite a while, about 4 days nearly. Yeah, stunning watch, Mike. Great choice. Love it.
Yeah, and 10.39 thick too as well, which is
how can you beat that?
Yeah.
This is an amazing watch. It really, really is. Excellent choice, Mike.
The next choice, we go back to bling, and we go back to not so much the rose gold look, but we go on to stones now, and we've got some real bling here. This is a really interesting piece, I thought. Oh, can you go back one? Just back one, blue shirt to the
Oh,
other.
I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't load that one, so I will hold off on that. Let me just get back in here. Maybe I missed one, Thomas. My apologies.
That's okay.
Which
Rolex Submariner, 18 karat.
There we go. Okay. Got it. Oh boy, yeah, I did miss that one. Okay. Here we go.
So we're staying at the same price as the Vacheron, £110,000. This was on
Wowzers.
This is yeah, and this is a stunning one. This one, it's a 18 karat white gold, diamond bezel, blue dial, and this has got. Just bear with me. 310 carats of dark blue baguette sapphires, and
Wow.
It's got 104 brilliant diamonds. And it's got 48-hour power reserve and 300 meters water resistant if you're going to take it anywhere near water, which I doubt you will. It's a stunning looking watch, Mike. I mean, I'd never seen this before, and
yeah, me neither.
It's just.
I think I had to up Bruce on his bluesy, right? So
It's a real looker.
Well, I figured you'd have to. I figured if I was doing a dream collection, I needed a Rolex has to be part of it, and to do one in precious metals and stones, I think would just be it would be pretty cool.
You can share it with the missus as well, can't you?
Yeah. Yes.
I'll keep you out of a bit of trouble.
Wow, that is something. All right, so we'll move on back to this one.
The most expensive one on the list, which is the Lange
Yeah, I think
One Tourbillon Perpetual
adds
Calendar.
up to all the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, this goes for €315,000.
Wow.
Absolutely mind-blowing. Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar. Hidden tourbillon in the back.
Right.
And looks absolutely amazing. Great choice, Mike.
Yeah. Excellent choice, Mike.
Excellent choice, yeah. Really. It's like a perfect undercover watch.
Yeah, because nobody's going to know what that is. Yep.
Yeah, you think it's a nice. Even if you know a little bit about watches, you might know. Okay, that's a Lange One. Looks like it. You would never know that that's the Perpetual Calendar tourbillon, because even the tourbillon is hidden at the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this one, the one I was looking at too, is it's a 25th anniversary, so there was only 25 pieces made too as well. And I think that perpetual calendar is good on the until like 2100 or something, 2100. So I mean, it just, and then the I don't know. I appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into something like this. I would love to see something like this in person someday. I wish there was a place I could go around here, but I'm telling you, to see that craftsmanship on the backside is amazing.
Yeah, isn't it just stunning?
What a watch.
It really is.
All right. Well, excellent choices, Mike.
Choices, Mike. I was just going to say, it looks like you set up a new studio at home for your editing and filming. How's that going?
It's in my garage, so I eventually just need to probably I eventually will upgrade my phone and get some other stands and stuff. I've been kind of I don't want to say I had time. I was on vacation this last week, and I really didn't do much for videos. I think I think having a conversation like this with you all maybe will kind of get me motivated a little bit. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. Like, it's tough because I'm trying to. There's so many folks that do things so well out there in the YouTube world that I don't really want to copy. I'm trying to find my own way. And
well, you're doing a good job of it, Mike. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
You're doing a great job, Mike. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Like Boucher says, just keep trucking on and pumping out the videos, and yeah, people watch and you'll organically grow, I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, everybody out there. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, so I think most of the folks that watch me, I think too as well, are folks that are really ingrained in the hobby too as well. Like they're active, like you all that are always liking my stuff, and then other watch channels too as well. So because I try to support, I really kind of want to be a support to the community, kind of, and that's how I met. That's really how I met Bruce too as well. Bruce would comment and is one of the most supportive people out there in the hobby. I mean, constantly commenting on videos when I first started it off. So that's definitely appreciated too as well. And it's I think that source of encouragement is awesome.
Yeah, well, to all the viewers watching, if you can head over to Tennessee Mike's channel and give him a few views, and maybe subscribe and give him a few comments, that'd be great. I mean,
yeah,
what we're here for, to push a few channels and give them a bit of publicity and keep the community thriving.
Exactly. That's what's great about this community is that for the most part, everybody's really supportive, and we've got a good group of friends, that watch a bunch of these channels, and we support each other, and that's what it's all about. And like I said earlier, Mike, do me a favor, just put a comment in the video once it posts with a link to your channel. Everybody, I strongly suggest, if you haven't subscribed to Mike's channel, please do so. It's definitely a different take. It's Mike's take on the hobby and the journey through it, and it's just really interesting. And Mike's a great guy, so please support him.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
So we got any closing thoughts?
No, it's a great review of your watches, Mike.
Yep. Thank you for joining us as always, James. We always love having you on, and we appreciate you being here.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Abdul.
Yes, Abdul. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Abdul.
Thank you, Abdul, for always joining us. You're always welcome, my friend. And
thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome. You've got another great channel. Everybody, please, Abdul R Watches. He's always bringing up, watches that you're not going to see anywhere else, and it's really interesting. And Abdul's another great guy.
And a quick hello to JCB in the chat. If you can all head over to JCB's channel, the John Claude Beaver channel.
Yeah, he's got another.
Check him out on Tuesdays. He's got a live stream that he does, which is a great live stream that he does with James.
Yeah,
ID guy will be on there.
ID guy, yeah. Even though it's early in the morning here, New York time, 6:30 a.m., and it's my day off, I still try and get up early and catch at least part of that show. It's a great discussion.
Yeah, great discussion, great show that.
Yeah. Are you joining us this week, Thomas?
I beg your pardon, James?
Are you joining us again this week?
I can't. I'm back at work now, so I won't be able to join you now.
Oh,
no.
What's the ID guy then?
Yeah, it'll be ID guy and you and JCB living it up.
Yeah.
Thinking about your work.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Clam Walker, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in, and JCB, thank you. I know it's early in the morning, Australia time, so we appreciate you popping in. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for letting us go over your collection.
Thanks. It was great talking. It was great to talking to you all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and please, feel free to join us. When I put the link in the chat, if you want to hop on the next time, you're always welcome, my friend.
You're always welcome.
I appreciate it, guys.
We'd love you to. We'd love you to end with your phrase, which is if you can.
Okay, I can do it. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate everything, and as always, stay positive, make friends, and enjoy the journey.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week when we're going to have Penny from All in Her Movements. We're going to be reviewing her collection, so please come back next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. GMT.
Yes.
We will see you all then.
See you
Take care,
guys.
everybody.
Take care and stay safe.